I demanded my girlfriend's 17-year-old son clean my bedroom after I slept with his mom, punished him when he refused, excluded him from our family trip, made him clean every bathroom as punishment. Then when he kicked me out, I gave his mom an ultimatum to choose between us and skip his graduation. She chose him. Now I'm alone and regretting everything. Clean my room. Your mother and I made a mess. I said that to a 17-year-old kid while smirking, while making it very clear what kind of mess I was talking about. The look on his face is something I'll never forget. Not anger. Not disgust. Just this quiet, wounded humiliation that made me feel powerful in the moment and sick to my stomach now. I'm writing this from a cheap apartment I can barely afford because I destroyed the best relationship I ever had by trying to humiliate a kid who never did anything to me except exist. 3 months ago, I had a beautiful girlfriend, a nice house to live in, and what I thought was respect. Now I have nothing and I'm trying to figure out how I became the kind of man who would deliberately degrade a child to assert dominance. Let me start at the beginning, because that's where I went wrong. I met Rachel 2 years ago. She was 38, I was 42. She was a nurse, a single mother, and she owned her own house. She had a son, Tyler, who was 15 when we met. Tyler was quiet. Polite. He'd say hi when I came over, then disappear to his room. He got good grades, played basketball, didn't cause trouble. By all accounts, he was a good kid. But I resented him from day one. Rachel's ex-husband had died when Tyler was 12. Heart attack. Sudden. Devastating. Rachel and Tyler were still processing that grief when I entered the picture. And I hated that I was competing with a dead man. Rachel would talk about Mason sometimes. How he'd been a good father. How Tyler missed him. How she wished he could see Tyler grow up. Every mention of Mason felt like a reminder that I was second choice. That if he hadn't died, I wouldn't be here. I know how pathetic that sounds. Being jealous of a dead man. But I was. And I took it out on Tyler. It started small. Little comments. Your dad would want you to be tougher than this. Your dad wouldn't let you slack off like that. Using Mason as a weapon while pretending to honor his memory. Rachel would get uncomfortable but wouldn't call me out. I think she was lonely enough that she overlooked red flags. Tyler would just go quiet. Retreat to his room. Never talk back. Never cause drama. That made it worse somehow. I wanted a reaction. I wanted him to push back so I could feel justified in disliking him. When Rachel and I had been dating for a year, she asked if I wanted to move in. Her house was bigger than my apartment. It made financial sense. And I loved her, or thought I did. What about Tyler? I asked. What about him? How's he going to feel about another man living here? In his dad's house? This is my house. And Tyler will adjust. He's a good kid. He was a good kid. That was the problem. He was so good that I couldn't find legitimate reasons to dislike him. So I invented them. I moved in when Tyler was 16. That's when the real power struggle began. I started treating the house like it was mine. Making rules. Demanding Tyler follow them. Acting like I was the man of the house and he needed to fall in line. Dishes need to be done before you go to bed, I'd announce. I always do them in the morning before school, Tyler would say quietly. Well, now you do them at night. New rule. Rachel would look between us, uncomfortable, but she wouldn't intervene. I think she wanted us to work it out. I started assigning Tyler chores. Excessive ones. Mowing the lawn in the heat. Cleaning the garage. Scrubbing the bathroom floors. He's 17, Rachel said once. He needs time for homework and basketball. He needs to learn work ethic. My dad had me doing twice this much at his age. It was a lie. My dad barely spoke to me. But Rachel didn't know that. Tyler did everything I asked without complaint. And that made me angrier. I wanted him to refuse. To give me a reason to really come down on him. Then came the incident that started my downfall. Rachel and I had sex one Saturday morning. Tyler was home, in his room down the hall. We weren't exactly quiet. Afterward, Rachel went to take a shower. I lay in bed, feeling smug and territorial. This was my woman. My bedroom. My house, even though it legally wasn't. Tyler walked past the door to go downstairs. I called out to him. Tyler. Come here. He appeared in the doorway, carefully not looking at the bed where I was still lying naked under the sheets. Yeah? Your mother and I made a mess in here. Need you to strip the bed and take the sheets down to the laundry. Then remake it with fresh ones. His face went red. What? You heard me. Clean sheets are in the hallway closet. Get to it. That's your mess. You clean it. Excuse me? I sat up. What did you just say to me? I'm not cleaning your bedroom after you. After you and Mom. He couldn't even finish the sentence. After we what? Had sex? In our bedroom? In this house that your mother owns and generously lets you live in? I live here. This is my house too. No. You're a guest here. A child. And when an adult tells you to do something, you do it. He stared at me with this mixture of humiliation and disbelief. You're doing this on purpose. To humiliate me. I'm teaching you respect. Now are you going to do what I asked, or are we going to have a problem? Rachel came out of the bathroom, wrapped in a towel. What's going on? I asked Tyler to change our sheets and he's being disrespectful about it. She looked between us. Tyler, it's fine. I'll do it. No, I said firmly. He needs to learn that everyone in this house contributes. Including him. Tyler looked at his mother. Waiting for her to defend him. To tell me I was being inappropriate. She didn't. Just do it, Tyler. Please. It's not a big deal. His face crumpled. Not with anger. With betrayal. He turned and left. Went to his room and slammed the door. You didn't have to ask him to do that, Rachel said quietly. Why not? It's a chore. He does chores. That felt deliberately humiliating. That's ridiculous. Laundry is laundry. She didn't push it. Just got dressed and went about her day. Tyler didn't come out of his room for the rest of the day. Didn't eat dinner. Didn't speak to either of us. I felt victorious. Like I'd established dominance. Looking back, that's when Tyler started really hating me. And I'd earned it. Over the next few months, I escalated. Finding new ways to exert control. New chores. New rules. New ways to remind Tyler that I was the adult and he was just the kid who had to do what I said. Rachel started pushing back sometimes. You're being too hard on him. He's a good kid, he doesn't deserve this. Can you just ease up a little? But she never put her foot down. Never told me to stop. She'd express concern, I'd dismiss it, and we'd move on. Until the family trip. Rachel planned a weekend at the beach. Her parents would be there, her sister's family, all of us. She was excited about it. Tyler's really looking forward to it, she said. He hasn't seen his grandparents in months. 2 days before we were supposed to leave, Tyler forgot to take out the trash. One time. One small oversight. I saw my opportunity. Tyler, come here. He appeared, wary now. He'd learned to be careful around me. You forgot the trash. Sorry. I'll do it now. Too late. You had one job today. You failed. So you're not coming on the trip this weekend? His face went pale. What? You heard me. You're staying home. Maybe next time you'll remember your responsibilities. That's not fair. I just forgot one time. And there are consequences for forgetting. You're 17. You should know better. Rachel came in. What's happening? Tyler's not coming this weekend. He can't handle basic chores, so he doesn't get rewards. That's extreme. It's one mistake. And he needs to learn that mistakes have consequences. He's staying home. Tyler looked at his mother. Mom, please. Grandma and Grandpa are expecting me. I know, honey. Maybe if you apologize too. No. I cut her off. No apologies. The decision is made. He stays home. End of discussion. Rachel looked torn. Can we talk about this privately? There's nothing to talk about. Tyler's eyes were wet. You're doing this because you hate me. I don't hate you. I'm teaching you accountability. You're punishing me because you can. Because Mom lets you. He looked at Rachel again. Waiting. Hoping. She said nothing. Tyler went to his room. Packed his basketball gear. Left for a friend's house. Stayed there the whole weekend while we were at the beach. Rachel was miserable the whole trip. Her parents kept asking where Tyler was. She made excuses. Her sister pulled her aside and I heard them arguing. Why would you let him do that? Her sister said. It's complicated. Tyler needs to learn. Tyler is a great kid and your boyfriend is on a power trip. You're letting him abuse your son. It's not abuse. It's discipline. But Rachel looked uncertain when she said it. We came home to a clean house. Tyler had done all his chores and more. Cleaned the bathrooms, mopped the floors, organized the garage. There was a note on the kitchen counter, hope this proves I can handle my responsibilities. Rachel cried when she read it. I felt nothing. Just irritation that he was trying to manipulate her with guilt. See? I said. The punishment worked. He learned his lesson. Did he? Or did he just learn that his mother won't protect him? That stung. But I pushed it away. Things got worse after that. Tyler stopped talking to me completely. Would respond in one-word answers when necessary, otherwise acted like I didn't exist. I didn't care. I told myself he was being a brat. That this was normal teenage rebellion. Then came the bathroom incident. Tyler was in the shower one evening. I needed to use the bathroom. I banged on the door. Hurry up. I'll be out in 5 minutes. Now. I heard the water shut off. A minute later, Tyler emerged, wrapped in a towel, dripping wet. I brushed past him. Did my business. Left. 20 minutes later, I noticed Tyler hadn't come downstairs for dinner. Rachel went to check on him. Came back down looking furious. He's in his room soaking wet because you rushed him out of the shower before he could dry off. He was taking too long. He was in there for 10 minutes. And now he's saying he feels humiliated in his own house. He's being dramatic. No. You're being cruel. This has to stop. I'm not being cruel. I'm being practical. The kid needs to learn the world doesn't revolve around him. He knows that. His father died. He's had to grow up fast. And now you're treating him like some problem child when he's never done anything wrong. This was the first time Rachel had really stood up to me. I didn't like it. Fine, I said. If you think I'm too hard on him, you deal with discipline. I'll back off completely. But when he turns into an entitled brat, don't blame me. I didn't back off. I got worse. The next week, I made a new rule. Tyler had to clean all 3 bathrooms in the house every Sunday. Thoroughly. Toilets, showers, floors, everything. Why just Tyler? Rachel asked. Because I do the yard work and you work all week. He needs to contribute more. He already does his own laundry, keeps his room clean, does the dishes, takes out the trash. And now he does the bathrooms. It's not negotiable. Tyler did it without complaint. Every Sunday. 3 hours of scrubbing bathrooms. But I could see something in him changing. The quiet, polite kid was being replaced by someone angry and defeated. I told myself it was good. He was toughening up. Then came his 18th birthday. Rachel wanted to throw him a party. Invite his friends, his grandparents, make a big deal of it. I didn't want strangers in the house. I told her it was too much work. It's his 18th birthday. So? He's an adult now. He doesn't need a party. We thought about it for days. Finally, Rachel said she'd do it anyway. Without my help. The day before the party, Tyler and I had our final confrontation. I came home from work to find Tyler's basketball stuff in the living room. Duffel bag, shoes, ball. Clean this up, I said. Now. I just got home from practice. I'll move it in a minute. Not in a minute. Now. He sighed. Started gathering his things. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the fact that Rachel was planning his party despite my objections. Maybe it was seeing him in the house that I'd started thinking of as mine. Maybe I was just a bully who'd been building up to this moment for 2 years. You know what? I said. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of you sulking around here like I'm the bad guy. I'm sick of your mother taking your side. I'm sick of pretending like you're not the problem in this house. Tyler stopped. Turned to look at me. I'm the problem? Yeah. You are. You walk around here like you own the place. Like I'm some intruder in your life. This was your dad's house, right? Your perfect dad who died and left you with this widow for a mother. Don't talk about my dad. Why not? He's the reason you resent me. Because I'm not him. Because I had the audacity to fall in love with your mother after he had the bad luck to drop dead. Tyler moved faster than I expected. Grabbed me by my shirt, shoved me against the wall. Get out of my house. I was shocked. He was stronger than I thought. Taller than me. And angrier than I'd ever seen him. Let go of me. No. You get the hell out of my house. This is my house. My mom's house. You don't live here. You don't make the rules. You're just some asshole who moved in and acts like you own everything. Rachel came running in. Tyler. Let him go. No. He needs to leave. I'm done. I'm done with him treating me like dirt in my own house. I'm done with him disrespecting Dad. I'm done. He shoved me toward the door. Hard. I stumbled. My ego was bruised more than my body. Fine, I shouted. Fine. Rachel, choose. Right now. Me or him. Silence. Tyler let me go. Stepped back. Looked at his mother. I looked at her too. Confident she'd choose me. We'd been together for 2 years. She loved me. Tyler was just being a dramatic teenager. Rachel's face was pale. Tears streaming down her cheeks. Get out, she whispered. What? Get out. Pack your things. Leave. You're choosing him over me? I'm choosing my son over the man who's been abusing him for 2 years. Yes. I never abused him. You made him clean our bedroom after we had sex. You humiliated him deliberately. You excluded him from family trips. You rushed him out of the shower. You've done everything possible to make him feel unwelcome in his own home. That's abuse. I was trying to teach him respect. You were trying to replace his father. And when you couldn't, you punished Tyler for it. The words hit like a slap because they were true. Rachel, please. We can work this out. No. We can't. I should have kicked you out months ago. I should have protected my son from you. I didn't. But I'm doing it now. Leave. I looked at Tyler. He was crying too, but there was relief on his face. I'd broken this kid for 2 years. And he was relieved I was finally leaving. This is a mistake, I said. The mistake was letting you move in, Rachel said. The mistake was every time I let you hurt my son and didn't stop you. Get out. I packed a bag. Loaded my car. Left. I was so angry. So convinced they'd regret this. That Rachel would call in a few days, apologetic, begging me to come back. She didn't call. I called her. She didn't answer. I texted. She didn't respond. Finally, after a week, she sent one text: Tyler's graduation is in 2 weeks. You're not invited. Don't contact us again. Tyler's graduation. That's when I made my final, catastrophic mistake. I showed up at Rachel's work. Cornered her in the parking lot. We need to talk. I have nothing to say to you. I miss you. I love you. We can fix this. There's nothing to fix. You abused my son. We're done. I never abused him. I was trying to be a father figure. A father figure doesn't humiliate. Doesn't punish excessively. Doesn't make a child feel unwelcome in their own home. You weren't a father figure. You were a bully? Fine. You want me to apologize to Tyler? I'll do it. I'll make things right. It's too late for that. It's not too late. We love each other. We can start over. I'll back off with Tyler. I'll give him space. You'll never be near my son again. That's when I snapped. When I made the ultimatum that destroyed everything. Then choose. Right now. Me or Tyler. A future with me or your ungrateful son who kicked me out of the house I helped pay for. I already chose. Tyler. Always Tyler. Even if it means missing his graduation? Because I swear to God, Rachel, if you don't take me back, I'll show up at that graduation and make a scene. I'll tell everyone there what a disrespectful little. She slapped me. I'd never been slapped before. I stood there, shocked. You threatened my son's graduation and you think I'll take you back? You're delusional. Stay away from us. I'm filing a restraining order. She did. I couldn't go within 500 feet of Tyler, Rachel, or Tyler's school. I missed the graduation. Not because I was prohibited, though I was, but because Rachel made sure I understood that showing up would result in my arrest. I sat in my new apartment that day, alone, and watched through Facebook as Rachel's sister posted photos of Tyler in his cap and gown, surrounded by family. Rachel was beaming. Tyler was smiling. They looked happy. Happier than I'd ever seen them when I was around. That's when it started to sink in. The restraining order was temporary. 90 days. But by the time it expired, I'd lost so much more than access to Rachel and Tyler. I'd lost my self-respect. I spent those 90 days trying to justify my behavior. Telling myself I'd been right. That Tyler was disrespectful. That Rachel chose her son over our relationship because she couldn't let go of her dead husband. I told this story to friends. To my brother. To anyone who would listen. None of them took my side. You made a teenage kid clean your sex sheets? My brother said, disgusted. It was just laundry. Bull. You were marking territory. Showing him you owned his mother and there was nothing he could do about it. That's sick. My best friend since college stopped returning my calls after I told him about the bathroom incident. My coworkers started avoiding me after I complained about ungrateful stepkids too many times in the break room. I was being forced to confront something I didn't want to face. I was the villain in this story. Not Tyler, who'd been a polite, grieving teenager just trying to live in his own house. Not Rachel, who'd been trying to balance love for her son and hope for a new relationship. Me. I'd walked into a home where a child was still mourning his father and decided that child was competition. That I needed to dominate him. Break him. Make him submit to my authority. And I dressed it up as discipline and teaching respect. My court-ordered therapist, part of the restraining order terms, didn't buy my justifications for a second. "Why did you ask Tyler to clean your bedroom after you'd been intimate with his mother?" she asked in our first session. It needed to be done. It was a chore. Why that chore? Why that day? Why couldn't you or Rachel do it? I couldn't answer honestly. Because the honest answer was, I wanted to humiliate him. "You were threatened by a teenage boy," my therapist said. "A child who'd lost his father. And instead of having empathy, you saw him as an obstacle to claiming what you thought was yours." Rachel was mine. Rachel was a person. Not property. And Tyler was her son. Not your competitor. She made me examine every interaction. Every punishment. Every rule. "Why did you exclude him from the family trip?" "He forgot the trash." Do you really believe forgetting to take out trash one time warranted missing a weekend with his grandparents he hadn't seen in months? Silence. Or did you want to punish him for existing? For being the reason Rachel sometimes said no to you? For being evidence that she'd had a whole life and family before you? I started crying in that session. Because she was right. I'd resented Tyler from day one. Not for anything he did, but for what he represented, proof that I wasn't Rachel's first choice. That I was the replacement. The consolation prize. And I'd punished him for it. "What would you say to Tyler if he were here?" my therapist asked. "That I'm sorry." For what specifically? For making him clean the bedroom. For excluding him from the trip. For being too hard on him. "You're minimizing. Try again." I took a breath. For making him feel unwelcome in his own home. For humiliating him. For trying to break his spirit because I was jealous of his dead father. There it was. The truth. The restraining order expired. I thought about reaching out to Rachel. Apologizing. Trying to explain. My therapist advised against it. You need to let them heal. Your presence, even your apology, would be about making yourself feel better. Not about their well-being. So I stayed away. I saw through mutual Facebook friends that Tyler got a full scholarship to college. Basketball and academics. Rachel posted about how proud she was. I felt nothing but shame. This kid I tried to break, who I told was lazy and disrespectful, had accomplished more by 18 than I had by 42. Rachel started dating someone new about 6 months after I left. A teacher. He posted photos of himself at Tyler's basketball games, at family dinners, blending into Rachel's life seamlessly. I stalked his profile like a crazy person. Looking for flaws. Finding none. He treated Tyler like a person. Respected Rachel's boundaries. Didn't try to take over or dominate. He was everything I should have been. I tried dating. Joined apps. Went on a few dates. It was always the same conversation. "Do you have kids?" "No. But I almost had a stepson." "Oh? What happened?" And I'd have to decide, lie, or tell the truth and watch them make an excuse to leave. I usually lied. Said we grew apart. That it didn't work out. But one woman, Sarah, pushed. Why didn't it work out? I wasn't good to her son. What does that mean? I was cruel to him. I humiliated him. I treated him like an obstacle instead of a kid. And his mother chose him over me. As she should have. Sarah left before our food arrived. I don't blame her. Who wants to date a man who admits to abusing a child? Because that's what it was. Abuse. Not physical. But emotional. Systematic. Deliberate. I'd spent 2 years making a grieving teenager feel worthless in his own home because my ego couldn't handle being with a woman who'd loved someone before me. A year after the breakup, I ran into Rachel at a grocery store. She saw me. Her face went hard. She turned to leave. "Rachel. Wait. Please." She stopped but didn't turn around. "I'm sorry. For everything. I was terrible to Tyler. You were right to choose him." She turned then. Looked at me with something like pity. You know what the saddest part is? Tyler felt guilty. After you left, he apologized to me for kicking you out. He was worried he'd ruined my happiness. My chest tightened. That's the kind of kid he is. Thoughtful. Kind. Even after you spent 2 years trying to destroy him, he felt bad about defending himself. Rachel. He's thriving now. At college. Happy. He has a girlfriend who thinks he's amazing. He's on track to graduate with honors. He's everything you said he wasn't. I know. I was wrong about everything. Yes. You were. And you don't get to apologize your way back into our lives. You had your chance. You chose cruelty. Now you get to live with that. She left. I stood in that grocery store and cried. Tyler graduated college last month. I saw the photos online. Rachel was there. Her boyfriend, fiancé now, I saw the ring in one photo. Tyler's girlfriend. His grandparents. He looked happy. Healthy. Like the weight of my presence had been lifted from his shoulders. I'm 45 now. Single. Living alone. Working a job that pays the bills but nothing more. I think about Tyler a lot. About what I stole from him. 2 years of feeling safe in his own home. 2 years of his mother's full support while she was torn between us. I think about the bedroom incident. How I'd felt powerful watching him turn red with humiliation. How that power had felt good in the moment. It makes me sick now. I demanded a grieving child clean evidence of his mother's sex life to assert dominance. I excluded him from family trips over minor infractions to punish him for existing. I made him scrub toilets and clean bathrooms to keep him in his place. And when he finally stood up for himself, I tried to make his mother choose between us, confident she'd choose me. She chose him. As she should have. My therapist asked me recently what I've learned. That jealousy makes you cruel. That competing with a child makes you a monster. That you can't build a relationship by tearing someone else down. What would you do differently? Everything. I'd treat Tyler with respect from day one. I'd support Rachel's relationship with her son instead of resenting it. I'd remember that being second doesn't mean being less. That Rachel choosing me didn't mean Tyler couldn't also matter. And now? Now I live with the knowledge that I had something beautiful and I destroyed it because I couldn't handle my own insecurity. I have no illusions of redemption. No hope that Rachel will forgive me or that Tyler will ever think of me as anything but the man who made his teenage years miserable. I'm just the cautionary tale. The evil stepfather. The insecure man who bullied a kid and lost everything. Sometimes I drive past Rachel's house. Not close enough to violate any boundaries. Just close enough to see it. There's a different car in the driveway now. Probably the fiancé's. The lawn is well maintained. Flowers in the garden. It looks like a happy home. It was a happy home before I moved in. Tyler and Rachel, healing together from Mason's death. Building a life. I poisoned it with my insecurity and need for control. And when I was finally removed, they healed again. Faster. Better. I was the infection. Tyler was right to kick me out. Rachel was right to choose him. If you're reading this and you're dating someone with kids, please learn from my catastrophic failure. Those kids aren't your competition. They're not obstacles to overcome or dominance to assert. They're children who deserve respect and kindness, especially if they're already dealing with loss or trauma. If you feel threatened by a child, the problem isn't the child. It's you. Get therapy. Work on your insecurity. Don't make them pay for your inadequacy. If you find yourself assigning excessive punishments, inventing ways to humiliate them, or feeling satisfied when they're hurt, stop. You're not teaching them anything except that adults can't be trusted and home isn't safe. And if their parent has to choose between you and their child, they should choose their child. Every single time. I demanded my girlfriend's son clean my bedroom after I slept with his mother. I punished him for refusing by excluding him from family trips. I made him scrub bathrooms for hours to keep him submissive. When he finally stood up to me, I gave his mother an ultimatum, him or me. She chose him. And now I'm alone, with nothing but regret and the clear understanding that I earned every bit of this isolation. The last time I heard anything about Tyler was through a mutual acquaintance. He's engaged now. Planning a wedding. Rachel is helping him plan it. The fiancé who replaced me will probably walk Tyler's future wife down the aisle alongside Rachel, like a real family. I could have been part of that family. If I'd been a better man. If I'd treated Tyler with the kindness he deserved. But I wasn't. And now I'm not. I demanded a child clean evidence of his mother's intimacy to humiliate him. Now I clean my own small apartment, alone, with no one to share it with. That's karma. And I can't say I didn't earn it.